Hello and welcome to another special episode here on Viking.TV with me, Anne Diamond. Today I'm in the glorious south of England, in a county called Kent, which traditionally has always been known as the Garden of England because it's where we grow all our produce, everything from fruit and vegetables and hops for beer. But you may not be aware, although I hope you'll become aware in the next few minutes, that Kent is fast becoming England's vineyard. In fact, here where I am at the moment is one of the most successful vineyards in Britain, and producing fabulous wine too. In fact, it's so good and is recognised so well globally now that we're facing a bit of a French invasion. Some of the most famous French winemakers are coming here and buying up great swathes of Kent because they now recognise that this is the place to grow fabulous grapes. And here they grow the best. Right, here we go.
Hey,
Hello.
welcome to Chapel Down.
Thank you.
Lovely to
Thanks for
have
letting
you
on the
here.
sunshine.
No, a beautiful day.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely glorious. And this is Chapel Down.
All right, okay.
Please come into our shop.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
So here you've got all of our award-winning wines.
All right, here we go.
Cheers, good health.
Oh, that's very nice.
So
Oh,
that's
it's
our
beautiful.
Chapel Down Brews.
Yes.
That's our flagship English sparkling
Well,
wine.
Andrew, you're the CEO,
Yes,
and you have been for, what, 2 years now here?
that's right, yes.
What have you, this is like an exam question,
Yeah.
what have you brought to Chapel Down?
Yeah. Well, the thing I think I've brought single-minded is we are completely focused on being England's leading winemaker. So ahead of my arrival, we had made wines, but we'd also moved into other areas of drinks. And now as a company, we're completely focused around our mission, which is to change the way the world thinks about English wine forever.
Yes, because it's taken a while, but people are more and more interested in the fact that we grow good wine in England. Not everybody knows it, though.
No, I think, through the late 80s, 90s, the wine quality was slightly more mixed. Whereas now, the bittersweet part of global warming is that we are growing sparkling wine grapes, so Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, on the same chalky soil seams in Kent that you have in the Champagne region.
Yes, that's what's so remarkable. It is
Incredible.
actually the same soil.
Yeah, no, it comes up under the Channel and White Cliffs of Dover and round the North and South Downs. And we are producing world-class wine, and they're winning awards on multiple stages.
But your job, to a certain extent, and all the other growers as well in England, is to join together and make sure that that is talked about a lot now, is to up the profile, I suppose.
No, so in terms of English wines, they're in the UK now over 900 vineyards, there are over 200 wineries, and last year there were 12 million bottles produced. So this is no longer a small cottage industry.
No.
It's a growing and big marketplace that we're developing in English sparkling wine.
It's a beautiful part of the world, isn't it, here? It's absolutely sensational. But you were telling me earlier that as you drive around, you see a certain prosperity happening here.
Yeah, I think, Kent as a region represents about 25% of the English vineyards, and we're in the middle of a small revolution here. We're creating the world's newest vineyards right in the heart of Kent. And I think with that comes prosperity. It brings tourism, it brings employment, and so there's a real buzz about the county. And, being a Kentish person and Kentish man is something that brings with it now not just images of the Garden of England and all the fruit and the crops, but English wine.
Yes, absolutely. And what are the things that you wanted to emphasise? I have to say this is ever so easily drinkable.
No, it's beautiful.
It goes with the sunshine.
It does. Our Chapel Down brand is the most recognised English wine brand. But what we wanted to do was just to make the label and the image look and reflect around the quality of the wines. We have our red chapel doorway which is very much the invitation into Chapel Down.
Nice.
We now call out Tenterton, Kent as our home, and that's where we produce the wine.
So that's again
as
a
you've
sort
seen.
of pride about where you are.
Totally, and it's very important to to the consumer. And then finally, really clearly, we call out English sparkling wine. We want to be proud about the fact that we're producing English sparkling wine. And what we have through our growing process is when we're growing the grapes, we have a longer growing season. Because of our maritime climate, we're about 1 degree cooler than the Champagne region. What that means is our grapes are picked towards mid-September, as opposed to in France it would be the end of July. So that extra time that you get with the grapes on the vine ultimately results in a flavour and taste profile which is crisper, fresher and more elegant in style.
I love that term, taste profile. So what is the taste profile of this?
Well, you tell me. What can you smell and taste?
It's slightly fruity,
Yes.
but only slightly,
Yep.
and it's not sweet.
No. So what you have is the appley taste, which
Yes,
is the
appley.
is the Chardonnay, and that's what you're really getting
It's beautiful.
on the front. But then as you go down, you get all the sophistication of flavour profile. You get the slight smoothness, the buttery part, which comes from the fermentation. But ultimately, most of all, what you get is this overwhelming, delightful freshness.
You've got to find it fun, haven't you? What you do.
What cannot be fun about growing 1,000 acres of vines in Kent? You know, taking all the grapes, working with the teams. You know, we have a peak harvest team of around 150 that are working in the vineyards and in the winery, and we've got amazing people. So being able to lead and inspire those people, them seeing how those grapes then ultimately become a bottle of Chapel Down brewed is very fulfilling.
And how important is it, how effective is it that our new Queen is the patron?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Queen Camilla and His Royal Highness Charles, they have been great ambassadors for English produce, as you know, but particularly for English wines over, 2 decades. And so to have them on our side is always a good thing.
Have they tasted yours?
Yes, they have. We've been they have had wine at the coronation, which
Your
was
wine?
very exciting, yes.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So we made a coronation edition of Chapel Down, which was tasted at a number of functions. And previously, our wines were at the wedding of William and Kate. So the royal family as a whole are great supporters, I think, of English produce and English wine. We've had a lot of fun recently taking our Chapel Down to France, and we tasted under the brand name of Chapel Down, and we tasted alongside a leading champagne with French consumers right in the middle of Rheims, in the middle of the Champagne region. Had no idea.
Tasting.
Total blind tasting, and 6 out of 10 of them preferred Chapel Down. And the reactions, and look, you can go onto social media and see, was just fantastic. The look on their faces that this could be made from vines in England, it was extraordinary. But we are, we're winning awards all over the world. Our Kit's Coty, which is a luxury wine, was recently given 96 out of 100 by Decanter, and that really is the global benchmark for wine quality.
Yeah. So what's your aim? Yes, you've talked about upping the profile.
Yes.
Is there a specific thing you'll think, right, that's it, I've done it?
Yeah, no, our vision is to continue to be the #1 and most celebrated winemaker, but in terms of scale of business, it's about doubling our business by 2026. So by 2026, we want to have selling the best part of 2.5 million bottles.
A year?
Yes, a year.
2.5 million bottles a year?
Yeah, so at this moment in time, we sell about 1.5 of sparkling and still. Ambition by 26 will be around 2.5 million bottles, which is a turnover of around 30 million sterling.
That's when you feel you'll have made your mark.
Yeah, no, and that's really a mark in terms of doubling the business and the financial sustainability over a period of 5 years. What we're now doing at this moment in time, though, is making decisions on future vineyard acquisition and future winery build, so that then beyond 2026, for the next 10 years, that we can continue to meet the growing demand, which will be significant over that period of time for English wine.
I must say there couldn't be a better way to celebrate it
No, thank
than
you.
under this beautiful sunshine in this absolutely fabulous place with a beautiful wine.
No, it's
Thank you so
brilliant.
much.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Good health.
How do you find somebody if you're looking for them in amongst all of these vines? It's absolutely massive. Let's see though if I can find Josh, because he's going to tell me more about the grapes that we're looking at. You're a very difficult man to find. There's acres and acres and acres of grapes here.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you. How big is the acreage just here?
On this site, we have 19 acres of vineyards, but we source from a total of 750 acres.
Wow, yeah. It takes a lot of gardening then, doesn't it? Can you
It does.
tell me about the grapes? Because they're much smaller than I thought they'd be.
So they're not ready to pick yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We're probably about 7 to 8 weeks away from harvest here.
Yeah.
So they will.
So
those
they will
berries
really
will
get
swell.
bigger.
They will. They will swell. The acidity will drop. The sugar will rise, and then they'll be perfect for making traditional method English sparkling wine.
Could you nibble one now and would it taste like a grape?
No, it wouldn't. It would be very, very sour indeed,
Oh,
because
really?
there's very little sugar and the acidity levels are very high.
What sort of grape is it then?
So this is Chardonnay, and this is the most important grape for us, and it's the largest constituent factor of our traditional method sparkling wines here at Chapel Down.
And so this Chardonnay grape will make sparkling wine.
Exactly, yes.
Oh, fascinating, isn't it? I mean, there's so many of it. How do you manage all of these vines?
We've got an amazing team of people, and they've got a meticulous attention to detail, and they all know their land. They all farm their land, and they're proud of what they do. And then we have another enormous team of pickers who we employ over the harvest, who come in and harvest all of these grapes by hand.
So in several weeks' time, this will be alive with pickers,
Absolutely.
and they'll just be pulling the grapes off the branches.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
then transported to our winery, where we gently extract the juice and make the wine.
It's lovely to see it like this, isn't it? Because it's all green and wonderful and it's bursting with life. I've seen vineyards before where they're just sort of like twigs in the ground, aren't they, for a long time, and then suddenly everything grows.
Exactly, they're a perennial crop. And what you're describing with sticks in the ground is very much what they look like in winter. And then they burst into life in April, and the growing season is really between April and then the harvest, which starts normally in mid-September and lasts through until mid-October.
Do you find people are really quite shocked when you say what you do, that you manage a vineyard, you make wine? People don't necessarily think of that as something that we do in England.
I think they're less shocked than they used to be. English wine is becoming more and more commonplace, and people are buying it and drinking it more. So it's with a sense of pride that I say it, and often with a sense of pride that they hear about it, that they know that we can produce world-class sparkling wine here in England.
You do. I mean, you are literally chief winemaker, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm head winemaker and operations director, so I look after the vineyards, winemaking, and all of the production processes.
So where did you learn your trade? In England?
So I studied in England, that's right, yeah, agricultural university here in England, studying viticulture and enology, and worked in Champagne and Alsace, also in a couple of other vineyards in England. But I've been here at Chapel Down for just over 13 years, and that's how you learn a vineyard and a wine, is by spending years with it, because the production cycle is so long that it takes years to understand the true potential of your soils.
So what happens next when these grapes are picked? What happens to them?
So they're gently picked by hand and transported to the winery, where they're loaded into one of our presses. Then their juice is extracted, fermentation takes place, and then later in the year they're bottled before aging in our cellars for anywhere between 18 months and 5 years before we release them.
Do you drink it yourself?
Of course.
I'm looking forward to a little taste maybe later on. It looks wonderful, doesn't it? You must be very proud when you see it like this.
I am. It's about
Because like I said, it starts off as twigs, doesn't it? And yet, look at it.
It's all about potential. When you look at the grapes, you think about the potential of the vintage. When you look at a vineyard, you think about the potential of it to make the best sparkling wines in the world. And that's what's exciting about English wine. It's the potential of what we can do here in England is enormous.
So you're looking at this vineyard now, as I said earlier, bursting with life, and you know you're going to be able to produce a good vintage.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm confident of that. We've got vineyards across mainly Kent, but in some of the best locations to grow grapes, and we've got an amazing team who will ensure that this fruit arrives at the winery and is processed to make world-class traditional method sparkling wines.
It's lovely sunshine at the moment. Is it important that the sunshine actually gets into the grapes?
Absolutely. We've come through and we've actually removed the leaves around the grapes.
Oh, I've seen you doing that. You're picking away all
And
the time.
that allows, firstly, it allows sunlight to to hit the grapes, as we can see here, but it also allows natural airflow, which dries the grapes from the morning dew and reduces the incidence of potential disease.
These are very big and shiny.
Each tank is 50,000 litres, and there are 17 of them, so that's 850,000 litres.
The sun is beating down on us at the moment. Does it make any difference to the tanks?
So all the tanks are temperature controlled, but by the time the heat of the summer arrives, actually we've emptied the wine from these tanks. And our reserve wine, which stays in tank for a period of years, is in a separate building which is in the shade.
I'm going to ask a really silly question now then. What are all these... Is this how you get the wine out?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Wow. I've never been so impressed with a big tank before. Wow. Woo!
Even better when they're full.
Yes, I'll bet.
And here we are.
So is this how you shove stuff in?
So we take our grapes and we gently press them to extract the juice.
Yeah.
And then we take the juice and we only take the best juice and then we pump it in using a pump.
I see.
Until it's full. And then fermentation takes place and then we need to clarify the wine before bottling.
Wow.
So in addition to being a major tourist destination welcoming 60,000 visitors per year, we also have the ability to make 2.5 million bottles of wine here on the same site.
And that's the...
So it's those, the two very...
That's the goal, isn't it?
The two sides of the business, 60,000 visitors a year, 2.5 million bottles. That's what makes this site really work.
Oh, it's brilliant to look at. But it's a very impressive little area.
These tanks were installed last year, and they've enabled us to process the grapes from the additional vineyards that we're planting, because that's what we're doing at the moment. We're planting new parts of Kent, new parts of England that have never had grapes on before.
Yes,
and
that's astonishing, isn't it?
They might be the best vineyards in England.
Yes,
we
you
just don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. And
who makes these? Where do you get them from?
these particular ones came from Italy.
Huh?
Other tanks we have come from France. They come from regions where the manufacturers are more accustomed to making wine tanks.
Yes.
Over time, that may well come back to the UK. I hope it does. This is where all of our grapes arrive, and they're loaded into one of the 4 presses you can see around us.
These are all presses, I see.
And they sit like this, quiet, for 11 months of the year, and then mid-September to mid-October, it's a 24-hour operation. With lots of people working in here, lots of forklift trucks, all processing the harvest. It's a team that come together to achieve that one aim.
So if you look at this one, well, any of them, where do all the grapes go in? From the top, in the top?
Exactly.
They're loaded into the top.
Yeah. So you can
and then
see
they go into the here. And what produces the pressing effect?
So you've got a stainless steel cylinder. They all work in the same way.
Yeah.
And inside there, covering half of the internal surface area, running the length of that cylinder, is a balloon. And then on the other side are colanders. Effectively, that's what it is. It's a membrane and juice channels. But effectively, you deflate the balloon, the membrane. You put your grapes in. You close the doors. That's important.
Yeah.
Don't forget to close the doors.
Yeah.
And then you start inflating that balloon.
Inflate the balloon
with air pressure.
Yes. So it literally presses down on
it pushes against the grapes, and the finest juice will be released. Because that's what we're after. There are lots of different ways to press grapes. This is a really gentle way of pressing them to extract only the best juice, which is what we need for traditional
So you're not using your feet anymore? No. It'd be a rather hard job, wouldn't it, really?
2.5 million bottles.
It would be,
foot.
yeah. Good God, even more. Wow. So what have we got here?
These were the bottles that we filled some of the bottles we filled last week. This is about 10 minutes worth.
Good God.
And we were going for a month.
So what's in here, the first pressing?
Can you see? I'm not sure if you can see. We use very dark glass.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Because it preserves the quality of the wine. So what's happened in here is that the grapes that we picked September, October last year were fermented in the tanks and then filtered and made ready for bottling. Then we bottle them with a bit more grape sugar and a bit more yeast. And that yeast eats the sugar produces a bit more alcohol to take it to 12%,
Yeah.
and it also produces carbon dioxide.
Yes.
And that carbon dioxide
Gives you the bubbles.
can't go anywhere, it's trapped, and so
Yes.
it goes into solution, and that's where the bubbles come from. From here, they go into our cellars, where they'll stay for between 18 months and 5 years before they go through another process to remove that yeast sediment.
Yes.
And in that maturation period, that's where you get the flavours of freshly baked bread or brioche or toasty aromas that really complement the flavours of apple and red berry that we
So
get in
you've
this
bottled
country.
these already. So this is
Yeah.
what inside there is what the wine will be.
Yes, we will need to remove the yeast
Yeah.
sediment.
Yeah. But that's the real.
This is the
stuff.
bottle you will buy it in
Yeah.
in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time.
I see.
It sits in this bottle.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, you've laid them out in that way. Will they stay like that now for?
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh, and I've always wanted to know why you have the raised bit in the bottom.
That's just for strength.
I see. Of the strength of the bottle because it's a
bottle.
sparkling wine.
Yeah, but I mean, all bottles are stronger with that in place.
I see.
A flat-bottomed bottle wouldn't have the same strength holding it together.
And so, how long did it take to produce all of these?
These 4 crates here
Yeah.
is about 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, and we were bottling for a month
10 minutes to create all of these.
to fill them all
Yes.
on the bottling line.
So yes, on the bottling line, they're
Yeah.
filled with the wine,
Yeah.
and that cap is put on,
Yeah.
and that's when
Yeah.
you see all the bottles go past
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
And this is 10 minutes worth.
Roughly.
My goodness. But what about, I mean, I see you've got quite a few of these traditional, what goes in there, and why do you have those?
So we make lots of different styles of wine, predominantly traditional method sparkling that we can see in front of us. Lots of that is made in stainless steel tanks, as you can also see just behind us. But the use of some oak barrels can really give complexity and interest to our more premium wines,
Yeah.
effectively. Our best vineyards, we select the best parts of the best vineyards, and then we put them into oak barrels to accentuate the flavours that we find from those vineyards. It's a very traditional way of working that imparts some oak flavour, but not much, because we don't use much new oak. And it also allows the wine to develop in a slightly different way than it would if it was in stainless steel.
They are fabulous, aren't they? There's
They're
something-
beautiful.
Yeah, aren't they lovely? Yeah.
They're
And
lovely
get-
to work with as well.
Are they?
Hard work,
Yeah,
but lovely.
Yeah, and you use them over and over again.
Yeah, we use them. We use them over and over again because we don't want too much oak flavour. What we get in England, because of our cool maritime climate, is a delicacy of flavour. And if we were to use new oak, all you'd be able to taste
Is
is
the
oak.
oak, yeah.
And so what we prefer to use is a balance of a small amount of new, but then much older as well. And that allows us to get the complex flavours whilst also retaining balance between the aromatic delicacy and the complexity.
It's fascinating business. It's absolutely fascinating business.
I love it.
Yeah, I can tell you do.